What's up, everybody? We hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Pour. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Brian.
And Brian, you know, Kentucky is known for producing bourbon, right? I mean,
justifiably so. But yeah.
There are more barrels of bourbon aging in Kentucky than there are residents. And I think a lot of people would say that Kentucky makes the best bourbon in the country, rightfully so, right? And I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, right? But that got me thinking, what are some of the best bourbons outside of the state of Kentucky?
Right. And some people still are under the belief that it has to be in Kentucky for it to be a bourbon.
Great point.
So it's something that's not true. Yeah. If you believe that, it does not have to be that.
Yeah, great point. Great point there for sure. So yeah, all bourbon just has to be made in the United States. 51% corn. Aged in a newly charred oak barrel. There's a few other things like it has to come off the still at 160 proof.
Right, one distilling season.
No, it's bottled and bond.
Oh, sorry.
Bottled. 160 out of the still, one maximum of 125 into the barrel, and then it has to be proofed higher than 80 proof. I think that's the only rules. Maybe there's a few other ones, but anyway, enough of that. And you probably, if you're watching this video, you probably already know that. So. Today's video, though, is we're going to share what we think, not necessarily the best bourbon, like specific bottles, but distilleries. Mm-hmm. So, first one, Brian and I agreed upon, and before anybody loses their mind, because this is always the argument, is this is not bourbon, this is Tennessee whiskey. It's Jack Daniels out of Lynchburg, Tennessee. It's what we're sipping on here. This is a single barrel proof, and this is 128.9 proof. So Jack Daniels is bourbon.
It meets all the qualifications for bourbon, but they
choose to be called Tennessee whiskey.
Right. So probably good on their behalf.
Probably good on their behalf
because everybody's talking about it. And still now we're talking about it. So.
And they make such good stuff.
Yeah.
This is a favorite of mine. I've had a Distillery Series Double Oaked Rye. That was really, 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 really good. I like their bonded stuff. I used to really like Gentleman Jack whenever I was, newly 21 and first into bourbon and whiskey. In fact, the groomsmen at my wedding, I bought them all a bottle of Gentleman Jack. That was a good theme. Yeah. Whiskey and Gentleman kind of went together.
I think you mentioned the bonded series that they came out with last year or the year before, but that $30 offerings that are just phenomenal. That rye is really good. Stands up well against any of the ryes in that category. So
it's a dream of mine to get the 10 and 12 year, or even taste them.
Yeah, and I did see them.
Oh yeah, you see them
last weekend, but they were a little bit overpriced. Yeah. Not as bad as some. Yeah. I think they were in the $250 range.
Right.
Which still was more than what I wanted to pay.
But still, they're normally in the 400s.
Right, so it was within a range that I'm surprised they were still sitting there, honestly.
And then this year, I think they're going to be releasing a 14-year. So that would be cool to see.
Another one we won't get. So.
And I will be going to Jack Daniels in July. So we'll see what they release that day. I don't know.
Get a part-time job. We'll pay for some bourbon. So.
Yeah. So Jack Daniels is awesome distillery, one of my favorite distilleries, and a little bit of nostalgia for me. So, I probably ought to go because I've got a couple more bottles over here.
Oh, okay.
Physical bottles. Right. We're Indiana guys, so you know it's coming. Hard Truth. We couldn't have, if this video was just a few months ago, we couldn't include them, but they just released their first 3 bourbons in February. They released 2 bottled in bonds, one the 4 grain, and then one this is the wheated. I actually like the 4 grain the best. Don't have that bottle right now. And then they have a 90 proof sweet mash bourbon.
Right. I like the wheated. That was
the wheated better?
Favorites.
Okay. And then we just found out yesterday they're going to be releasing a barrel strength. Oh wait, or was that a
cash? They're doing a cash strength. I don't know exactly when it's going to come out.
But what I sent yesterday, was that rye whiskey or was that bourbon? I thought it was bourbon.
I thought it was bourbon.
Yeah, which is why I was excited. If not, that's embarrassing. Anyway, Hard Truth, excellent bourbon, and we really can't wait to see what they, as they grow and do more releases, what that bourbon's going to be like. Because I think it's going to be excellent. It already is.
Right, definitely. And the price, it's in that...
Reasonable.
A couple of them are $39, and then the others are maybe close to $50, but solid. Solid for the price, and then this day and age, $50 for a bottle is not outlandish.
Right.
So it's good quality for the money.
Yeah.
So okay. Well, my first bottle, no surprise, is going to be from Indiana as well. So it's the Starlight Distillery. If you've seen it early on, we did an interview with Ted Huber, the master distiller.
We'll put a card
owner.
up here somewhere.
Yeah, and just a cool guy. We did a barrel pick there with our local liquor store and just had a blast. And he was so nice and authentic.
Very gracious.
Just a down to earth guy. Gave us time when he didn't. We may have had 20 subscribers at the time.
We're this big right now, and we were this big whenever he agreed to that interview. And he agreed to it on a whim.
Right. Yeah, and did it and gave us all this information. It's really cool.
Yeah.
But above and beyond that, they make such quality stuff and have been for so many years.
Yeah.
They got a really cool place. It's all farm to bottle. Everything that they make, they have on their farm or source it locally. They just this past year had to start sourcing off of their farm. It was the first time that they had to go outside of their farm, but it was a neighboring farm that they got it from. So just cool stuff. Great place if you're ever down in this area. If you get to Louisville, it's worth the extra drive over.
It's not even that.
45 minutes, or is it
20 minutes from
maybe
Louisville?
Okay, maybe close.
It's right up 65.
Yeah, so it's super close, and it's worth the drive over there. Just a really cool place.
And if you're wondering, this is a single barrel Rickhouse Select selected by Christian Huber, and the proof on it is 114.8, so just a tick below 115.
Yeah.
I really like Starlight stuff.
I've got a weeded one of this from the Carl Huber batch, and they've got a blackberry finished whiskey, but I'll tell you,
it's a flavored whiskey.
Flavored whiskey, sorry. 84 proof, but I'll tell you what, it's just so good. We've talked about it before, but if you're looking, if you're looking for Crown, don't waste your money.
No need to.
Pay $19.99 for that.
Yeah.
Mix that with whatever you want.
Lemonade.
Or drink it straight up.
Lemonade, put it on ice.
You can't hardly beat it.
Yeah.
So.
We're pretty proud of Starlight. So great bourbons, great whiskeys. Next one is probably not going to be a surprise to anybody. This is Frey Ranch out of Fallon, Nevada. This is also a farm to bottle operation, and this is just their standard release. We actually don't have this in Indiana right now, and this is a 4 grain, so distilled from 4 slow grain grains, and this is 90 proof, and they have always done their own distillate. And they really focus on the grains that go in it. So that's kind of been their thing. It's a heavy bottle.
Yeah, it is. It looks like it's a cool look too.
It's a very cool bottle, but it's a tank.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's a family operation, and I've not actually had anything else other than this one.
Yeah,
that's
all I've tried too.
But this is so excellent that actually no wait. Tom Blandford gave me a sample of something. Maybe it was their weeded whiskey.
Oh, okay.
Something. Anyway, and it was excellent too. But this is so good that I look forward to trying other stuff from them. And I think it's worthy already of just kind of being one of the best bourbons and best distilleries outside the state of Kentucky.
Okay. Well, my next one comes out of Missouri, Ben Holiday. It's kind of bougie right now to like Ben Holiday, but honestly, it is good, solid stuff. It has a different taste profile, gives some different elements than your traditional bourbon, and I like the change of pace. I don't know, like I said, is it my favorite of everything I drink? No, but is it good? It's good quality, and it's different.
And I think one thing too, this bottle in particular, this is the soft red wheat bottled in bond. We have had that. We've had the standard bottle and bond. You have the Rickhouse proof, and both of us, or at least I've tried the soft red wheat Rickhouse proof, and all those are consistently good. So it's not just that it's your favorite, but if everything that they're putting out is good, then
and this is
speaks for itself.
It's a 6-year-old bottled and bond. Which I mean, they're sitting on it for 2 extra years that they don't have to to put out good quality. And it is good stuff. If you can get your hands on it, I know it's kind of not all over the United States, but if it's in your region, it's a good bottle to grab.
Worth picking up. And this distillery is actually way bigger than people think it is. They think it's this really, really small operation like some of like these, but it's actually quite a big distillery, and been around for quite a while too. But my favorite from them is just the standard bottled and bond, and the standard bottled and bond also has a 6-year age statement, but I don't know why, but Keith had one that was a 7-year, and that's the one that we had in one of the first videos that we filmed. Actually, I think literally it could have been the first one. Was a feature on Holiday Distillery, and that was my favorite, was that bottle bond. And it had a 7-year age statement, so I don't know what that's all about, but anyway, just thought I'd share randomly. All right, next up here, once again, this is similar to Frey Ranch, and then this is the only offering I've had, and I think it's the only one that you've had. This is 13th Colony out of Georgia, but I don't know, I don't know, somewhere in Georgia. We know it's Georgia. If you know, comment below. This is the regular small batch bourbon at 95 proof, and this was one that Erica's cousin lives in Georgia, Andrew, not only a family member of mine, but really one of my best friends too. He brought this up to me, and it was a distillery that I had read about a lot that kind of seemed to be hyped up. And then we opened it up, and also another one of the first videos that we did, and it lived up to the hype.
Yeah, good stuff. Good
and
quality,
so there were a little bit of controversy with the double oaked, whether it was their distillate or 100% their distillate or not. But anybody would probably kill for one of those double oaks, because I've heard that they are amazing. I've heard their cask strength stuff is amazing, and I came this close whenever I was just traveling to buying a bottle of their rye, but I ended up passing on it, which I'm thankful for, because at the next stop there was the Old Overholt 10-year that I would not have been able to justify had I bought that rye. But anyway, I look forward to trying other 13th Colony products, but I do think it's worthy of being some of the best bourbon outside the state of Kentucky.
Okay. Well, my last bottle, we're going to kind of have to show it here in a second. I forgot to bring it when I was coming over. I didn't bring my Still Austin. They're another distillery that's just cranking out good stuff. And it's at a pretty affordable price. Their standard offerings are in the $30 range. Their cash strength, I got their cash strength. It was $49. I think it's typically around $65. But it comes in around 116. It just drinks so well. I picked up their rye a couple weeks ago, and it's a solid offering too. I think it was $49.
Yeah.
So they're just knocking it out with good quality stuff. Texas whiskey sometimes takes a hit on. A lot of people just kind of group it together. It's kind of like Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah.
They get grouped together.
Yeah.
That people just I don't like it because it's Texas.
Yeah.
Well, kind of you need to drop that balance because whatever Still Austin's doing, they're aging their stuff quick because it's Texas. But man, they're blending it well. Whatever they're doing is putting out a good product. So.
Are they out of Austin? Or were they?
Based on the name, I'm gonna think it's probably Austin, but I don't know that for sure.
Yeah. Somewhere in Texas, probably Austin.
And they got really cool artwork on their bottles. All their bottles are really neat. So
that sounds like Austin, Texas. So you've been gracious to share those with me as well, and I would have to agree that especially you do have the cask.
I have the cask.
Okay, yeah, that's my
favorite.
That one was like holy crap, really really good, and like you said. Being aged in Texas, I guess that the heat there kind of makes it, if it's a 2-year bourbon or whiskey, it's almost like it's a 4-year. Yeah. So anyway, so we know that this is not a complete list because there is fantastic bourbon being made all over the country, especially now. So what I would like for everybody to do is put in the comments below what your favorite bourbons are outside the state of Kentucky. I know we're missing some, so I want to know what your favorites are, because part of all this too is us discovering new stuff to try. So and we might not be able to get it, but kind of cool to know it's on the radar. We do travel a little bit, so maybe we could pick it up on our travels. So all right, let us know once again what would be on your list, and as we end every single episode, when you're with your family and your friends, always share your whiskey.